Hey, good morning, everybody from the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owners Network Marketing Training Series number 117 today on this brisk and cool 32-degree morning here in beautiful South Lake Tahoe. I wish you guys could see out the window and didn't have that glare on there, but it's a beautiful blue skies, crisp morning, autumn, fall, or spring morning. I'm sorry, and the blue skies and pine trees. It's gorgeous here. That's why I am in a hoodie. Where John is down in Phoenix, Arizona, where at 8 a.m. he's already exceeded the high that I'm going to see today. Good morning, John. How are you today?
I'm fantastic, Paul. I'm actually jealous. I am not someone who loves the cold, but I'm definitely not someone who loves the heat. I like both, I guess, but what I love is that middle in between. Like I woke up this morning about 6 o'clock, and it was about 65, almost 70 degrees out, and it's quite beautiful. But it's an hour and a half later, and I don't know if those of you who are in Phoenix know what I'm talking about, those of you joining us from other parts of the country. It got to 97 degrees out here yesterday, which is pretty darn warm for this time of year. So I'm a little worried that it's indicating a hot, quick, soon-to-come summer of 105, 110-degree days, which in my opinion is just brutal. I'm sick of it. And one of the reasons I'm in network marketing is so that I could be like Paul and be a snowbird and flee the Phoenix weather to my my winter home in Tahoe, or my summer home in Tahoe. Get out of the winters and come down to Phoenix, and get out of the summers and go up to Tahoe. So that's awesome, and that's one of the benefits of being in network marketing and building a network with passive income. I will say this though. I've already broken a sweat, and I don't like sweating at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, no
It's
doubt.
another reason why I'm in network marketing.
Absolutely, man. I believe that this will be the last summer we have to spend in Phoenix, you and I both. That we'll be, come next summer, we'll have the ability to spend it wherever we choose and have these hangouts from a beautiful beach, or a nice mountain cabin, or wherever we would prefer to be outside of the brutal sun blistering heat of Phoenix. So anyway, I want to get right back into where we left off last New Op Day, which was on chapter 12 of the Own Your Life Plan book. Thank you very much, John. Let me put that up there. Do that again? Yes, there it is. All right, awesome. And this is the Own Your chapter 12 is really napkin presentation number 11, which like I mentioned last time, he kind of quits numbering the napkin presentations starting here. I don't know why that is, but it's a very interesting thing. But this is one that's called Going Back to School, which is quite, I mean, this is something that, it's all the way out here at chapter 12. But realistically, you can pull pieces out of this and use them in the very beginning when you're, looking to talk to people about sponsoring them into the organization. One of the things that I really like that he talks about in here is comparing, the network marketing to going to college, where, you go to college for a 4-year program and you learn all this stuff, and you get out of college, and first of all, you got a mountain of debt probably, and then you have to go get a job, which, there's a lot of competition for in whatever field of study that you're in. And if you're lucky enough to land a job, for the first however many years, you got to work on paying back your student loans before you can start, really making some headway, and then, hopefully step it up in the ladder. But all the time, you've got a capped income, you're building a family, you're buying houses and cars and yada, yada, yada. And the next thing you know, you're 50 years old and you still ain't got squat in the bank. And he talks about in here that, does anybody, I love this question. He's talking about talking to a group, but you could put this towards an individual. And I like the idea of, if you're talking to somebody that went to college, or even if you just talk to somebody that didn't go to college, you could just ask them, hey, did you go to college? No, I didn't. Oh, okay. Or I went to, a couple of years of junior college, or whatever it was. You can customize this question. And I would like to ask somebody, hey, when you were, in high school, did you take those courses about achieving financial freedom in 3 years or less? What courses are those? You didn't take those courses? Why not? Well, as far as I know, they didn't have those courses. You know what I mean? Or when you were in college, did you take that? Did you follow the how to achieve financial freedom in 3 years or less curriculum? You didn't? Well, why not? Oh, they didn't offer it? Oh, I wonder why that is. Because they want you to go get a job and be enslaved to the system for the rest of your life. That's why they don't offer those courses. So, but Don specifically asked it as, does anyone know of a four-year college course where you could graduate, then hope to retire in 1 to 3 years with more than $70,000 a year? And I mean, literally, no, there isn't such a thing. It isn't there. And this whole chapter is all about your commitment to becoming successful and saying that basically, hey, listen, you can't go out there and anticipate, getting rich quick type of a thing. You can't go out there and anticipate that, this thing's going to be making you $2,000 a month by the end of next month. And you can't go out there and anticipate that this is all just going to fall into place overnight. You have to make a commitment to this, and he's talking about you having to basically go back to school for 6 months. Just 6 months, and not full time. Going back to school for a period of basically 5 to 10 hours a week for 6 months and graduating with the ability to achieve financial freedom in 1 to 3 years. Now, would you be willing to go back to school for 6 months if it would give you the ability to potentially achieve financial freedom in 1 to 6 years? Oh, I'm sorry, 1 to 3 years, John?
Why not? Especially when the cost of going to network marketing school is a mere fraction of what it costs to go to your standard college and not learn the skills of financial freedom and come out of there with tens of thousands, almost hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to have a job that makes less than $70,000 per year. So the answer to that question, Paul, would be, knowing what I know, absolutely, yes. Here's the caveat, though. Most people don't understand these concepts that aren't already involved, who aren't already involved with personal development, business growth, or network marketing. So my answer is yes, but how do we get this message out to the people? And I think I'm getting a little off topic. So before I do that, I'm just going to say what I like about this chapter too, about going back to school, and a piece that you threw in there, Paul, is that it's literally going back to school, and we should never make any promises to our downline or our prospects that it's a get rich quick and they're going to be sensations overnight. There are some people that take the ball and run with it and build an organization extremely fast, but those are typically people who are already involved in sales, marketing, or have been involved in the network marketing business. But I love the fact that he points out here it is like going back to school. And as Paul just said, if you go back to school for 3 to 6 months to earn that kind of money, would you do it? And the answer should be absolutely yes, especially with the cost of the education is almost free in comparison to traditional college, where they don't teach you passive income and self-development, personal development, and income type of skills.
Well, he's got a follow-up question too to the actual little presentation that goes along with this chapter here, and the presentation itself is sort of similar to, what is it, chapter 2, I believe, or napkin presentation number 2. Oh, I'm sorry, no, napkin presentation number 1, where it shows you how you can build an organization quickly, or how you can build an income quickly with this business. And the first one he shows here is that he talks about, I'm going to show you the picture here. Basically, if you can find yourself 5 people into your organization by the end of 1 month, 5 serious people, and then by the end of 3 months, you can help work with them to help them each get 5, and then by the end of 6 months, be able to help your 5 people help their 5 people to each bring in 5 people, and then have 125 people in the organization. Now he also talks about, see those lines on either side? Those are what he calls the friend customers, and basically what he means by that is, just the people who aren't wanting to do the business but like the product and service and will sign up to, buy gold and silver and save gold and silver for this program just by you introducing this whole thing and showing people. And he goes on then to show that, okay, now you've got these people in here, so you start adding all this up, and here's what you end up with right here. You've got 155 serious, he calls them distributors, but in this case, they're independent business owners, and they each have 10 friend customers, which equals 1,550 people that are using the product and service in your organization. And then you've got your 150 distributors for a total of, and he also talks about the wholesale buyers, which that doesn't really apply to us too much, but you got a grand total of 1,705 people in your organization using the product and service, all of whom you are earning an income from, which over the course of 6 months, and even if this took a year, should be, excuse me, should be producing you an income of somewhere between $2,000 and $6,000. And so then he asked the question after showing this napkin presentation here, if you could be making $2,000 to $6,000 per month in 6 months, or even if it took a year, on top of what you're currently earning, could you see yourself going back to school for 5 to 10 hours per week for 6 months to learn how to do it? And if somebody answers no to that question, basically your bottom line is, okay, you're not done with them, but you've quit selling them instantly on the business owner part of it, and you're just presenting your product and service to see if they want to become a user of the product and service. It's pretty much a defining question. I mean, if they say no to that, obviously they're not a gold ship by any means whatsoever. But if they say yes, obviously, okay, boom, that pretty much qualifies them as a silver ship right there, somebody worth working with to see if they can develop themselves into a serious independent business owner there. And I have to blow my nose, so go ahead, John.
You know what, Paul, if you don't mind me, just to illustrate what those dollar amounts look like, because this is what's so exciting about the business to me. I'm going to go ahead and screen share real fast, Paul, and show people, and anyone on our team should email me for this XLS spreadsheet that's just really cool. Paul, what were those numbers again?
Calculator? Yeah, I love this thing.
Yeah, okay, so let me scroll away, and everybody look here to the left of your screen. The monthly service of Swiss Gold Global is $50, okay? If you got 5 people in your front line, let's say, and they each are you're helping each one to find 5 people. Look how dynamic these numbers are. Level 1, you have 5 people. You're making $37.50 a month. No big deal. By the time you help those 5 find their 5, there's $225 a month. Not bad, right? Then here's your $125 level. That's $537.50 per month. And the illustration Paul showed, what was that, Paul? $1,500 if you just got a couple of gold ships and a few friend retail buyers or wholesale buyers along the way. And look here on level 4, with 625 people, you're making $2,100 a month. So if you double that number, as Paul was showing in his display, and we're not even getting into these larger numbers when you hit 5, 6, and 7, but look what you got when you have 625 people in the organization. That's a monthly income of $2,100. Let's double that to kind of get on board with the numbers Paul showed. That's $4,200. But let's say you got 5 to find their 5 to find their 5, working it all the way down the line, 7 levels deep. Would you be happy making $244,000 a month? And let's just say it took you 7 years to build that organization. So would you do this? Would you go back to school for 6 months to a year and work for 3 to 7 years to make $244,000 a month? I think I would.
Where do I sign? Where do I sign? I want to go back to one thing there because, It talks about in here where, most people that get into something, into anything that's a potential way to make money, they have a high expectation of, something happening fast. And going all the way back to, even being people who want to start a business, you know, um, the statistics show that 80% of all businesses fail within the first year, first of all, and that it takes 3 to 5 years for any business to begin making a profit. So you basically, when you start a business, you're going in the hole first because you have to learn all this stuff on how to run this business and everything else before you finally figure it all out and you actually start making a profit. So even if you're trying to go into your own business, you've got a learning curve. You've got time that you have to put in order to, get to yourself to the point where you have the knowledge that you can actually create a profitable business. And that's where most people end up giving up and failing, because they don't see the immediate results that they're hoping for out of this. And what John was showing there, that first level there, you're only making $37 a month, okay? That doesn't seem like much. But consider this, it's really not 37. That number is actually $74, because if you're making $37 a month, right, that's coming in from something that you did last month, you never have to do it again, $37 is coming every month, right? Let's just say that pays your gas bill every month, okay? That's $37 now. It's coming in, paying your gas bill. Your gas bill is no longer on the desk. It's not there anymore, which means $37 now does not have to come out of your paycheck. So that's an additional $37 that you have. Do you see how I'm talking about how this really like multiplies from a $37 to $74 that you really have benefited out of this whole thing? And I mean, and when you're doubling the numbers like John talked about, is ridiculous. Once you get everything paid off, of course, those numbers stop and you really have what you have coming in. But in the beginning, that little amount, if you look at it the right way, $37 coming in, now you have $37 you can start applying towards, say, a credit card debt and start, multiplying that down at the same time. There's just so many things that you can do looking at the fact that, hey, it's not just $37. Every dollar that I have coming in while I'm still working is really, I'm doubling it because it doesn't have to come out of my paycheck anymore.
Yeah. And that's kind of a good way to I think introduce the business to people, is put it in terms of things that the average person can understand and believe to be achievable too. As Paul mentioned right in the beginning of the call, like this, by no means, we're showing you these numbers of, look, you get an organization this big, $244,000 a month. There's that potential there, yes, but I want to stress that in no way, shape, or form is this a get-rich-quick scheme. This is going to take work, it's going to take commitment, and it's going to take you going out there, learning this stuff, coming on daily trainings like this to get motivated and learn what to say, what to do. You're going back to school. But the great thing about going back to school is you can get paid along the way. So you just get a handful of people while learning what this business is all about, $37.50 a month. As Paul said, that's a bill. For me, that's my water bill on average is about $35, $36. So once I've got, you think of it that way, once I got my first 5 people, and I only have to go out there and work one time, get 5 people in my organization, learn the skills, get paid along the way, but you're doing something once, and now in perpetuity, what you did one time is now taking care of your water bill. And then, look at it that way. Then when you get to that level that we showed where you're making $244, well, that's pretty much all your utilities. My water, electric, and my internet bill, because I refuse to have television. It's a waste of money and time. But anyways, that's about $240 a month. Great. Now I've got my 5 people trained up over. Maybe it took you 6, maybe it took you a year. But in 1 year's time, you did something that is going to cover your utility bills in perpetuity. Think of it that way. And when you introduce this to people, I think that's a great way to introduce the business to people, is the potential of things they can understand and how they can use this business to start eliminating some monthly bills on a regular basis, and really driving home the fact here that it's passive income. It's an education you're not getting in college about finance, and it's you do something once, get paid in perpetuity. So again, just to reiterate, like you get, that $37.50 a month, your water bill's now covered. When you get to the next level, all your utilities covered, so forth and so on. And I'm going to toss it back to you, Paul. That was kind of my final thought for the day, because I see we're right at the end of time. So I'm sure Paul is chomping at the bit to get a couple last minute thoughts in here, and then he'll close us out with our prayer.
Well, I just want to add one other little tiny piece to that as well, too. $37 a month. You can also break that down into, hey, listen, how excited do you get, and how long does it take for you to get a 25-cent raise at your job? Okay, $37 a month. You break that down. That's 40 hours a week, right? 4 weeks a month. That's basically just shy of a 25-cent raise. Now, like I said, 25-cent raise isn't huge, but a lot of people get excited over a 25-cent raise. I mean, it's tough to get a freaking raise at a job, period. 25 cents is like, woohoo, I got 25 cents, But and then again, too, as this thing builds, that 25-cent raise turns into, the next one, instead of going to a 50-cent raise, probably jumps to like a $1 raise, So it's just, you can, flipping this around, like John says, into something that people can relate to in their lives right now, especially when you kind of focus it upon the money that they're earning and the job that they have, et cetera, and so on. It really kind of helps for this stuff to really sink in and get them excited about what the potential is for them to have here. So anything you want to add to that, John, or shall I just take us home?
I just want to say that is a great way to break it down, Paul. I never had thought of that, and I just today's hangout to me was just fantastic, because I love this idea about you're going back to school, you're going to earn while you learn. Approach the people you're introducing a network marketing business into as the potential to start covering some of their monthly bills. Make sure you don't pitch it as a get-rich-quick scheme, because when people hear get-rich-quick, they think you're introducing a pyramid scheme or a scam to them. And what you just said there is a great way to relate it to the people that really need a network marketing business, and that is hourly wage earners. And I love how Paul just broke it down right there to, you'll work a year, 2 years almost, generally about 9 months to a year, for a 25-cent an hour raise, which boils down to about $40 a month.
Yeah.
And if you go do a little extra work with network marketing, you go out and find these 5 gold ships or just 5 people, suddenly your 25-cent raise is here in a lot quicker time than when you're going to earn it or get it from your hourly job. And I think that's another great little tool and a way to get people relating to the power behind this business. So that was fantastic, Paul. I never broke it down that way, and I love that. So I'm going to toss it back over to you to close this out.
I think we might have to play with that a little bit on Freedom Friday and put some numbers together and really show some different levels of how that can really relate to people, and that could be something really powerful. But with that, O Universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire, which is becoming a leader in this business and helping millions of people make millions of dollars. All right, everybody, have a great New Op Day. We'll see you back here Wednesday, same bat